Hey, everybody. Thank you all for joining us. My name is John Shaw with Cruise Addicts, and we have Michael Consoli with us today. If you're new to this live streams, Michael Consoli is the largest seller of Viking cruises around the whole entire world. He's also an award winner with Tauck Cruises and also with Regent Seven Seas Cruises and many, many other brands. So we're going to get Michael in here, and he's going to answer your Viking questions and tell us about some new specials that have just happened the 1st of May. And hope you can think of any questions that you have, because he'll help you right now. Hey, Michael, thanks for being here.
Thanks, John. Thanks for being here, too.
We really appreciate you taking the time to join us from your new studio. It looks wonderful.
Thanks. Yeah, finally moved into our offices, so I'm happy about that.
That's great. And I know you just got back not too long ago. You hosted a cruise. Could you tell everybody about that?
Yeah, so we did Malta, Morocco, and the Med. We had 130 guests with us. It was actually one of the best cruises we've ever been on. I had never actually been to Malta, and it is really just a beautiful, beautiful place.
That's great. And what ship were you on again?
We were on the Saturn, the Viking Saturn. Yeah.
So I know, like, obviously we worked together for years now. I know that you have these special groups cruises that you do that they're just exclusive to your agency, right? Can you share how people can be part of that?
Yeah, well, I mean, so I invite my clients that book with us to sail with us a couple times a year on different sailings. And it's open to the people that have sailed with us in the past first, and then we open it to their friends or guests. And it has grown over the years. It's a trip that we put together that we make kind of very special. We do special events and excursions, things like that for the group. And it's become one of my favorite things to do. We used to do 1 or 2 a year. Now we're doing 3 or 4 a year, just because we have a lot of people that want to participate. And I think in August we are doing Safari. In November we're doing Egypt with Viking. The Safari is actually with Tauck, which you mentioned we are top producer with. As well as there's a third trip we're doing this year. We're doing a Greek Isles cruise on a smaller line with Azamara. So, but we try to have something for everyone with the group, and it's actually just a lot of fun to be able to spend some time with my clients when, most of the business that we do with our clients is all over the phone. So,
yeah, it seems very special and intimate because it seems like everybody knows each other. And of course, the wonderful things you do for the group, these unique things and opportunities and dinners and special things, and it looks incredible. I'm always very jealous. I want to be like a fly on the wall, or at least be at the table.
Yeah, no, I mean, we really enjoy doing it. I think people really like it a lot. So yeah, it's something we will continue to do.
Great. And so once again, I want to thank everybody for being here. If you haven't, checked in, please let us know when your upcoming cruise is. Doesn't matter what cruise line it is. We don't discriminate here. And if you have any questions, please write them down below for Michael. We'd love to hear them. So let's see. We've got a few things here. And we've got the big thing, of course, is the Viking specials that Michael was going to bring to us today. He said, Michael, they just came out May 1st, you said.
Yeah, we have some really great specials that started May 1st. It is, there's a choice promo, so it's giving guests the choice, and I want to just, specify these are for new bookings only. So, but it is giving guests the choice of having both the Silver Spirits beverage package and gratuities included, or an onboard credit. This is from Viking. We are actually providing all three. So if the guest books with us during the month of May, it applies to all sailings. They would get an onboard credit gift, as well as a beverage package, a Silver Spirits beverage package included, and gratuities. This applies to all Viking, Ocean, River, and Expedition. The exception of Egypt, which unfortunately they are not able to provide the Silver Spirits beverage package on, so that would not be included.
Okay, well, that's pretty awesome. That's great. So you also did say that this doesn't, if you have an existing booking, you can't transfer it and have that part of it, right?
Yeah, so it's for bookings made after May 1st. And so the promo can only be applied to bookings created after May 1st. So those bookings that were created before that date would not qualify. The guest does have the option of canceling and rebooking to get the promo, although they would give up any other promos that are available at this time. Many of our guests have what Viking has been offering as book more, save more, where they have an existing booking and they booked another booking and they save either $250 or $500 more per person. That promo would go away if you opted for this promo. So many of their promos are not combinable. The only thing they are combinable with are book on board savings or past guest savings. But you can't combine like the choice offer with the book more, save more promo, which is also available this month as well. So that's one of the promos is the choice promo, which, as I explained, we would provide all three, an onboard credit gift, as well as the Silver Spirits beverage package and the gratuities. But the guest also has the opportunity in lieu of that to, if they have an existing booking currently made before May 1st, they could if they created a new booking, they would have the option of saving an additional $250 or $500 based on the length of sailing on the new booking. So it's a really great month to make a booking with Viking, because with the $25 deposit promo and those promotions, the guest really has the opportunity to save a good amount of money. So the beverage package is $27 per person per day, and gratuities, depending on whether you're on river or ocean, are either $18 or $20 per person per day. So they would save between $47 or $45 per person per day on any cruise with that choice offer. And again, we are combining that with our onboard credit offer as well. So they're really getting three great options.
And the stipulation is it just any booking after May 1st? It can, how far out can it go to?
So it's any booking made after May 1st. So 25, 26, and 27. There are a lot of promos that people don't necessarily see, that we obviously see all of them. Being the #1 producer for Viking, we come across all of them in our business every day, so we're very familiar with them and are able to make sure that the guest is choosing the best offer. There may be a special offer or what we call a private sale on one particular itinerary for 2025 or early 2026 that may include free air. Those, of course, are not combinable with the other two offers that I mentioned. Just as I said, you would get to pick one, but we help our guests find the best possible promo, so we make sure that they're getting the absolute best value on their cruise. We never want to leave money on the table. We always want to make sure they're getting the best savings and options available to them. And then if they combine that with the onboard credit offer that we provide as our gift, it's a really, really good value. Again, and only having to put down $25 per person to hold the space, it encourages guests to book further out.
Yeah, that's incredible. So as you say, it's a great value, and that helps pretty much everybody, no matter what they're booking.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I still see people posting on the groups, and even people I've met, they almost say with pride, we make our own arrangements.
Yeah.
And so what would you say to that customer? Because I just thought of that today as the drive in here. I was, because people are real adamant about that. They really they say it proudly, but I'm not trying to, that it's a bad thing. I just don't think it's needed. And I know that you have tools and you have a staff that can actually make their life easier, right?
Yeah, the truth is there are a couple of reasons that we would encourage guests to work with a travel agent, obviously. And the biggest one is that they're leaving money on the table. We're able to provide an onboard credit gift as our gift to the guest for booking with us. But the real reason why guests book with me and my agency is the knowledge and the service that we provide. We're super responsive. I make myself very available to the guest. I have a team that's very well trained, and they know exactly how to handle situations when the guests call in. If I'm not available, they're able to answer questions, take payments, all of that stuff. So we pride ourselves on the service level we provide and the knowledge that we bring to the guests. To the guest experience and helping them navigate, just like I just said, navigate the promos, navigate the air program, navigate the insurance. These are all things that I think guests are very surprised when they call us. We have a lot of people who call and say, "Oh, I've never used a travel agent before. I've always booked myself." And and I think they're very surprised at how much control they still have over their booking and how much assistance we really are able to provide them and helping them plan the perfect trip. I want to be very, very clear. There are a lot of agencies that charge fees. We never charge a fee for our services. It's always complimentary. So the guest is never going to pay more. They're usually going to save money, or we're going to help them take advantage of a promo they didn't know about, or they're going to get our onboard credit, all of those things, and making sure that they get the best value. But we also never charge a fee. So I think that's important to mention, because many people are, when they call and they say they've never worked with an agent, they're like, well, what do I pay for your services? And they never pay anything, of course.
Yeah, I think there is they really do think that it's going to cost them something, or they're going to lose control. I know we've talked about it in the past, but you still meet those people, and I want to kind of steer them towards you. So I hope it helps somebody that's watching.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And wow. So once again, folks, we're covering some specials. Like I said, Viking's got some great specials. So if you make a booking after May 1st, I heard free gratuities, free.
Yeah, there's a free gratuities, free Silver Spirits beverage package. And then with Viking, they have the option of an onboard credit, or they could choose the onboard credit. So if the guests were to book directly with Viking, they could have that promo, provided they have the promo. And then also or they could choose to have an onboard credit. If they book with us, we're going to provide all three: the Silver Spirits beverage package, gratuities, and the onboard credit. And, so the guest is getting, not really having to make a choice. Although when we talk about promotions, there are other promotions that this promo is not combinable with, and we help the guest navigate that choice. I think it's, again, important to mention that guests who have existing bookings that want to take advantage of this promo that's available in May, they actually would have to cancel and rebook or adjust their booking to the current promotion. Meaning, if they booked in December and they wanted to adjust to this month's promo, they also have to take this month's pricing, this month's air pricing, this month's extension pricing. And in many cases, the pricing, may have gone up, and so it's not really worth their while. Or they have a promotion that's better than the one that's being offered now. So, it's just a matter of helping the guests make sure that they're getting the best value. We're always going to do that, and helping them make the right choice as to how to handle, making their booking.
Yeah, so I interpret that as it's great that we have these promotions, but then again, someone might have got a better promotion in the past.
Right.
But you're here to help them. So if they want to reach out to you, please do. You can call Michael at 1-800-913-7245 or email him at michael@planmycruise.com if you're a new client or past one. He'd love to help you navigate this. But the whole point of it is to help you get the best value, right?
Right. Absolutely. Not just monetarily either. I mean, yes, we're going to make sure they get the best value monetarily, but value also talks about speaks to the experience itself, the experience in planning the trip, the experience of getting to the trip, the experience of being on the trip, the excursions, all of that stuff, and making sure that they're getting the most for their money by taking advantage of what the cruise line offers, what the destination offers, all of that. So that's something that, if somebody's not worked with an agent before, they may not know.
Yeah. And once again, we kind of touched on it earlier. Michael's very humble, but you've got the largest producer. He sells more Viking cruises than anyone in the entire world. So, and he's done it for how many years now, Michael? I know I always forget this. I think I'm getting old. Sorry.
Our 10th year. And
yeah. So 10 years.
We are getting old, but yes, it's my 10th year.
So for 10 years, so this is incredible. So for 10 years, Michael has sold more Viking cruises than anyone in the entire world. Yeah. So I think he knows just a little bit about how to sell Viking cruises and all the intricacies. So if you have a question, you don't need to put it on a Facebook group, which we appreciate that, and ask the same question over and over again. I don't want to hear anybody say, search it. Just ask the question. That's what it's all about, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, so go ahead and ask the question. It could be anything. It could be at any brand. We're here for you. He just has a wealth of knowledge, and he's so humble and so nice, and we appreciate him taking the time today. So, yeah, anything else going on with Viking while we're here? I know they just had a new Egypt ship launched.
Yes, they're. I think they're launching 2 more Egypt ships, so that's really good because that is obviously a market where there is a lot of demand. Even with the situation going on in Israel, I think that we have seen obviously a lull in Egypt bookings for a while there, right after the conflict started, but then it has picked back up, and I think that they're adding these new ships, so they have availability and they have some great promotions on those sailings, and we've had, I would say, hundreds of guests travel since the conflict started and be very happy with the experience and what and how safe they felt. Obviously, they're not operating the Jerusalem extension, so there are some alternative extensions. They've added Alexandria as a pre-extension. They've added a 2-night pre-extension in Cairo. There are some sailings that offer an extension in Istanbul. So I think that's very interesting, and I think it shows, just like it did through COVID and everything else, that how the cruise line industry is able to pivot and really still continue to provide an amazing experience to guests. And options that are going to enhance their trip when they have to take something away, like Jerusalem.
Yeah, it's incredible how they can pivot.
Yeah,
almost in anything. Yeah, really great. So I just want to ask another question it's a little somewhat related. Are bookings still in high demand as they have been, or have they slowed? I know there was a big question for different brands, and some people are slowing slow, but some people are still in high demand as far as capacity goes.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have seen growth in our business over the past year that has continued. It continued through the month of April. I do think that business is cyclical, and I think that a lot of our business, we sell a lot of luxury, a lot of river. So most of the brands that we're top producer for are luxury brands, and those are driven, those sales are really driven by how the stock market goes, because that's a big part of where people are getting their vacation dollars from. But then at the same time, we don't see that impact at all on the brands that we work with that are like family brands like Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, Princess. We don't really see that there. I think that we just had such a strong 23, 24, and again in 25. We see that, not necessarily a lull, but that they may be leveling out some as far as like the demand goes, because I think people had this pent up demand. But, I think that the cruise lines have seen a lot of new business from new cruisers, and I think that that's going to continue to help grow the business.
Yeah, I mean, I see a massive growth with the Virgin Voyages brand just comes to mind. That seems like it's making a lot of people happy. Which is nice to see, because that was questionable at times, how they would do. There's so many different brands. Of course, Viking just continues to grow and increase their capacity. And of course, we have plenty of happy guests.
Yeah, I mean, look, they have an amazing product that has created a very loyal following, and that has contributed to the success of the business. And I think they continue to see very high sell-through on their product. 25 is super well sold. And I think that, we're seeing the same for 26, but they're adding new ships, both river and ocean. And so, you're adding another 2,000, 3,000 berths on ocean, for instance, every week. And so that's a big curve to fill, but they are, they're master marketers, as everybody knows. We all get all those mailers in the mail and the emails, and luckily for us, we capitalize on that with our guests to make sure they're getting the best value and helping them through the process. And it's continuing to help them grow.
Right. That artist that you have, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he has artwork on the ship that me and my wife were married on, the Mariner of the Seas. He's a featured artist.
Yeah, Romero Brito.
Yes, Brito. Yeah, really, I love his artwork.
Yeah,
so nice. So I appreciate seeing that, and that ship's always meant something special to me because of all the Brito artwork. Love it.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So before we go to the questions, is there? I know you constantly deal with clients and stuff like that. Is there some tip or just you want to sound off to the cruising community of something you want to share? Maybe something they should make sure they cross their T, dot their I, or either in preparation or just a word of advice.
Yeah, look, for those that are traveling domestically, right, starting next week, I mean this week, I should say, you have to have your driver's license has to have that star on it so that you can navigate through the airports. Otherwise, you're going to have your passport. International travelers already have to have a passport, so that's not going to be a problem for those that are going out of the country. But those that are going into the summer and they need to have that
real ID. Yeah, real ID, isn't it?
A driver's license with them to fly even domestically. So you want to make sure you have that. And I think that's the biggest challenge we have coming up recently. Also, I get a lot of questions about the visa for the EU, which is now not being implemented until 2026. I must get a question or two a day on that. People think that they need to have it for 2025. It really has not been implemented and will not be implemented until 2026. And maybe with luck, they'll push it back again, but it's been pushed back many times. Guests visiting the UK need to have the entry visa. It's all done electronically online. And you will need to have it if you are staying in the UK for any period of time. Those that are transiting through the airport and not leaving the airside terminal, you will not need to have that visa. So that's not something you need to worry about. But if you're getting on and off a cruise ship in the UK or visiting the UK or leaving the airport in the UK, you're going to need that. So make sure you get that. I think those are the most impactful things that are happening right now in the travel business. And the Real ID thing is coming up, I think, on the 7th. So.
Wow. Well, hopefully I think most local governments probably adjusted. So, but I don't, there might be someone that's got a real old driver's license or some state that lets you keep it too long. But hopefully.
You can have your license for 10 years, I think. So I don't know. Mine has it, I know.
Yeah, mine does too. I think it's been a while. So I think most states are in compliance now. So hopefully no one will get left out in the rain there.
Yeah.
But there's always some exception, right?
Exactly.
But and I know they threatened to do that forever. I was like, oh, they're finally doing it.
Yeah.
Wow. So we'll go to questions now. Let's see how we're doing here. So Suzanne's checking in from YouTube. She goes, hi, happy travels to everyone. Well, back to you, Suzanne. So good to see you here.
Nice to see you, Suzanne. Thanks for being here.
And Lou Mello, thanks, Lou, for joining us from YouTube. Great to see you again. He said, next cruise is with Viking in July to Iceland, Greenland, and Canada, and ending in New York City.
Yeah, Lou, you're going to love that itinerary. It looks amazing.
Yeah, and Suzanne says she's going to book away.
Great. Hope to hear from you, Suzanne.
Yeah, and she's got a follow-up question, Michael. She goes, is there a limit to use of the promo?
No, you can make as many bookings as you like with that promo.
That's great. So once again, Michael's information is down below. He'd love to hear from you, and that'd be great. And let's see here. So Kathy Woodward's checking in from YouTube, Michael, and she says, my cruise is October 2025, Empires of the Mediterranean. My question is, Vikings already ticketed my brothers in my booking, but our return flights, I'm guessing, are with British Airways.
Yeah, and I think she's the second part of her question.
Okay. We do have Viking Air Plus, and it's letting me pick my seats for business.
Yeah, so I think the question might be that they don't have seats on the short segment process.
Oh, here it goes.
Yeah.
It's not letting me pick my seat.
So with Air Plus, with British Air, most of the time the guest has to pay for a seat, but Viking will ensure that they don't have to pay for the seat on the over the water segment. So she needs to go back to the agent she booked with and have that agent make sure that her seats are assigned. If she booked directly with the cruise line, then she needs to call the air department and have the air department assign her seats. As long as it's been ticketed, it should be able to be assigned, and she shouldn't have to pay for the long haul seat on the over the water segment. But if there's a short inter-Europe flight, that seat usually cannot be assigned until you get to the airport, or you can pre-purchase that seat on British Air's website. But the only seat that would be covered under the Air Plus or the Viking ticket would be the over the water segment.
Okay. Well, thank you for helping her out there. And Sean Mackin is checking in from Facebook. He goes, just returned from Vikings, Chateaus, Rivers, and Wine Cruise. Amazing, he says. Our first Viking Oceans cruise, Istanbul to Athens, May 2026, and just booked passage to Eastern Europe River Cruise, April 2027.
Great, Sean. I know you're going to love those. They're great itineraries. So, yeah.
And Kitty MC is checking in from Facebook or YouTube, sorry.
Hi, Kitty.
And Jane is checking in from YouTube. She has booked on South America and Chilean Fords.
Oh, great. That's a good itinerary too. And Sean, I just want to mention to the shout out to you, thanks for booking your trips with us, as well as Suzanne Grady, who's also a great client of ours. Thank you both for being here.
That's great. And we get Suzanne's checking in. She goes, we have Rhine and Viking shores and fjords, back-to-back river and ocean coming up soon. Then Med Odyssey in Australia and New Zealand. Yeah, Mediterranean Odyssey. Yeah. That's awesome.
Some great cruises.
Yeah. And Jane Evans is checking in. And she goes, does Viking provide a hotel conference room for guests with late flights?
Let's see. Jane, as she just mentioned, she's doing
right here. South American Chilean Fords.
Usually they do provide what we call a day room for guests that have late flights. But if you have the opportunity to buy the one night post with in Buenos Aires at the end of the trip, or have another room to yourself at the end of the trip, that might be a better choice than being in the conference room all day, just because those flights do leave really, really late. But yes, generally they do provide a place to store your luggage and wait to go to the airport.
Great. And Sean's got a question for you, Michael. Are current promotions limited to 2025 through 2027 cruises?
They are limited to 2025 to 2027 because we don't have 2028 yet, but it is applicable to all cruises that are available through Viking right now.
So anything that's available. So everything you could book.
Exactly.
And Suzanne says she likes new low emission ships are exciting. She's talking about the hydrogen powered ships.
Yes, that's very exciting to see that.
That is exciting. And I know the chairman was very proud of that and has been working on that for a long time. Margie says, hello, my husband and I are going on the Mediterranean Odyssey next January 2026. We are so excited. So happy for you, Margie.
Yeah, Margie, that's actually one of my favorite itineraries, Venice to Barcelona or Barcelona to Venice. It's I've done it actually twice, once just as a vacation and then once with my group. It was really one of my favorite itineraries, so I know you're going to love it.
You think? And Lou had a question for you, Michael. He goes, we're a past Viking guest and have a current booking in July. We received a letter from Viking with free international air and a $25 deposit, but can't locate the letter. How do we get the promo?
So the promo, actually, the free air is select sailings on select dates. So they, as I said, they are masters at marketing their product, and I get a lot of questions about this promotion. Many people think that the free air applies to everything. It absolutely doesn't. It's just certain sailings and sailing dates, which we would be happy to help you navigate through where they are available. You wouldn't necessarily have to have the letter. So we certainly could help you find the sailings that have the free air. And of course, the $25 deposit is available. And I think, Lou, we see you here many times. And so I know you're a frequent traveler. So you probably also would have the option of saving that $250, $500 per person because you probably have another departure coming up. Or you could use the promo we talked about at the beginning with the Silver Spirits beverage package and gratuities and the onboard credit that we offer. So but to answer your question, you don't necessarily need to have the letter for the promotion. We certainly would be happy to help you figure out what promotion would be best for you. Yep.
Just contact Michael right down below there. His information is, you can call him 1-800-913-7245. And Liz has a great question, Michael. I think Viking cruises are usually sold out, but are they ever last minute opportunities at good prices?
Hi, Lisa. Thanks for being here. Yes, there are a lot of their sailings are sold out, very far in advance, but there are last minute opportunities, but they have become a little bit more savvy about how they fill their ships. And they do sell a couple of guarantees here and there so that if people cancel, they have places, people to fill them in with. So we don't see it often, but there certainly are opportunities to travel. I would say the best time to take advantage of those quote unquote last minute opportunities, because I think a last minute is a relative term, is probably within the 6-month mark. Once we get into that window, if they have space on something, the promotion is already going to be offered. So I will say that it's not like they go, 4 weeks before, oh, we have these 3 cabins left, let's offer them at 50% off. They would never do that, simply because they like other luxury and premium lines want to maintain their pricing structure, and they never want a guest sitting next to somebody else who paid $1,000 less than they did, unless they booked earlier. Those who book early really do get the best deals, in my opinion. So the earlier you book, the better. But there are last minute deals that might include free air. Again, that's not going to disparage the price that somebody pays for the cruise. If the cruise is $74.99, 9 months before, most likely it's going to be that price 6 months before. And they may say, we have 3 cabins left, let's offer free air on this particular sailing. We've seen that quite often. But we don't see them disparaging their pricing by trying to fill their ships, to fill their ships. We don't see them disparage their pricing structure to fill their ships, just because they know people talk, and all that's going to do is lead to less loyalty among the people that do book with them. So,
yeah, great. I think I saw this here. Kevin's checking in, and he says, with the promo with free flights overseas, how does this affect you if you wanted to go business class?
So usually when there is a free air promo, the business class price reflects the discount for the economy air. So the business class price would also be less expensive because there was free economy air offered on that sailing.
Okay, so it's a win-win.
Yeah.
And we've got YouTube checking in. Adam is when do we have to book by? It's through May. I missed that part.
Yeah, to take advantage of this month's sale, you would need to book by May 31. It would need to be a new booking made after May 1st. So.
Great. It's in, so John Davis is checking in from YouTube, Michael, and he says, greetings. Can Michael elaborate on his Malta, Morocco, Mediterranean cruise? We're doing that cruise in November. So he wants the skinny on it.
Yeah, I mean, look, it was an amazing itinerary going to Casablanca and Tunisia, all of that. It was just really, really interesting. It's probably one of my favorite itineraries just because it went to places that I had never been before. I've been all over the Med, but I haven't been on that side of the Med. So it was really a great experience. I would encourage you to spend the most time you possibly can in Malta. It's one of the prettiest places I've been. We did a full day private tour, and our group actually had lunch in an olive field. So it was kind of a unique experience for us, but the day was one of my favorites. So I think you're really going to love it.
Great. So let's see here. Sorry, I'm going through some of these things. Sorry, it's taken. Boop, 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 boop. Cassie says, thank you for all the help, Michael. And Sean said, we appreciate your support, all the help you had answered with the questions. He goes, we may need to book another cruise with all these promotions.
Yeah, I think so too.
And Margie Maldonado is checking in from YouTube, and she says we're looking for the best promo. She added in a comment below. She goes, we'd love the best promos for loyalty customers. We're fairly new to cruisers and booked our 4th Viking cruise with Viking because we love them, but are shopping around for. So she's trying to find what is the best promotion, right?
Yeah, I think that guests that are used to booking the mainstream lines, they think that the more they look around or find try to find a better deal, they're honestly with the premium and luxury brands, they're not really going to see so much of that. I mean, we are as agents, we are always making sure we want to get our guests the best promo because that's the only way they're going to come back to us. And so we work really, really hard to make sure that we take advantage of every promotion that they have. So I think as consumers, we are innately, we are trained to like, let's check here and let's check there and let's see whatever. But we can provide you with a one-stop shop. We're going to make sure you get the best deal so you don't have to do that. And the Viking product is basically price fixed, as I've said a few times already, just like some of the other brands like Regent and Silversea. Nobody's allowed to discount it, for any other promos than what the cruise line is providing. So, I think when she refers to loyalty customers, she's talking about like working with us, or I'm not sure if she's talking about the loyalty to the cruise line. I will say that Viking does offer their past guest discount, which is $100 or $200 per person based on when you last sailed with them. So the closer you are to your last sailing, you would, if you're within a year of the last sailing, you would get $200 off per person. The loyalty we build with our guests is really about the relationship and making sure that we take good care of them. And some people see that as a monetary thing. In other words, some people see that as, this is my 5th booking with you, I should get an additional discount. But the truth is that we provide a level of service that other agencies may not provide. And we pride ourselves on that. We operate very differently than some other agencies. And so the guests that we work with, they know that I'm there when they have to call at 4 a.m. in the morning because their flight is canceled, or if they have a problem getting something done on their cruise, or they need assistance with getting their insurance claim done. Those are all the things that we're going to take care of that, most people are left on their own to do. And to be quite honest with you, those are the benefits of the loyalty of people booking with us again and again. So we are always going to have some sort of financial incentive, some sort of onboard credit incentive to have the guests book with us. But the real reason the guests book with us is, again, because of the service side and the support that we're going to be able to provide when they have a challenge that arises, which unfortunately happens, in the middle of the night, or where they actually have assistance getting to where they're going.
All right.
Are you okay, John?
Yeah. All right. Can you read some?
Yeah. So I see Jane Evans asks, in the economy, see more last minute opportunities coming up. I'm not really sure, Jane. I don't necessarily, I don't see the business doing that at this time. So it wouldn't be something that I would say I predict would happen. I think that the business is very, very strong right now. That we are just seeing, we're just seeing the business leveling off from being so strong in 23, 24 in the beginning.
Sorry about that. All right. Sorry about that. Got a cold.
No problem. No problem at all.
Let's see here. Excuse me. Cheryl's saying, can you elaborate on a little on Tunisia?
If you can't die on us here today, so
I'm trying not to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll be honest. In Tunisia, I was actually working on board the ship. I had 130 guests on board, so it was one of the days I took to get some work done. But I went off the ship for just a little while. It was support, but I really can't speak to that particular one because I actually had to stay on board and work that day. So, but thank you for the question.
And Kathy's saying, do you have a Facebook page so I can follow you?
Yeah, I do have a Facebook page. If you want to send us an email, I can send you the link to the Facebook page.
Great. Um, yeah, so Margie was saying I was talking about staying with Viking. That makes sense. Viking does have wonderful service. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it was a great question.
Yeah, Susan says John's choked up by Michael's service. I know. I've had a cold all week, so apparently it's coming to me. It's catching up to me. Sorry about that, everybody. Let's see. Yeah, great question here. Yvonne from YouTube is saying, does the choice promo apply to expeditions also, Michael? I'm considering the Antarctic Explorer. Any discount would help.
Yeah, absolutely. It would. It would apply to. It applies to any sailing that Viking offers in 25, 26, or 27. Again, the Silver Spirits beverage package would not be available on the Egypt sailings.
Great. All right. Well, more questions here. We have to share your Facebook link here.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So I tell you, well, we're getting close to wrapping everything up here, everybody. Any other final questions before I die would be great. I'm joking. Oh boy. Yeah, it's funny. So I know that we always talk about this as far as insurance goes, that you always want to have proper insurance and that you actually have a proprietary product for your clients, because people just seem to go travel and a lot of times they don't have the proper insurance, right? And that's a big pitfall for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think that people feel, and we say this all the time, that having travel insurance is like buying a printer at Best Buy and they offer the insurance when you go to the register, and they don't think that they need to have it, but it's something that we really believe strongly. We just see guests all the time that don't have coverage, and they have a reason to cancel that they couldn't anticipate. Insurance is, for those things that you can't anticipate. So people getting sick, people, breaking a leg, or flights being canceled, things like that. Insurance is for those things that we can't anticipate in an unpredictable world. And so we really feel strongly that guests should have insurance. The policy we offer is a proprietary policy. It can be taken at final payment and still cover pre-existing conditions. We offer it through Allianz, but it's not even a product that they sell directly. So it's something that we've had designed specifically for our agency and for our guests to be able to have the time to review the policy and take it at final payment instead of having to do it within 14 days of deposit like most policies do.
Wonderful. And then Susan's got a question. From your clients, which world cruise has the best feedback? That's a great question.
Yeah, I think that my guests really enjoy the Fort Lauderdale to London. I know that it was also offered LA to London. This year, they're actually, I think for 27, they're offering even longer that go all the way to Stockholm or Bergen. And so there are opportunities to do that. Unfortunately, that year is the first year they've actually done that. I have had many clients actually, though, just so you know, book the World Cruise and then book 2 segments after, just so that they can have it longer, then they can be on board longer. So yeah, I think the World Cruise is a great way to see the world. And I have to say Viking probably has the best value when it comes to the World Cruise offerings, because they're including an extra saving for paying early. They're including a 3.3% discount for paying by electronic check. They provide business class air, the free visa service, free luggage forward, an onboard credit of, I think, $2,000 to $4,000 per person, depending on when you're departing. When you've sailed with them last, things like that. So it's an incredible value. Also, still including beer and wine with lunch and dinner, complimentary Wi-Fi, complimentary shore excursion in every port. It's a super good value for guests that have the time to and the desire to do a cruise of that length. It's really an amazing experience. And I have to tell you, I have yet to have a World Cruise guest come back and say, I didn't like it.
That's great.
Which would
that
board for 136 days.
So we were supposed to say this, Michael. Today is May 4th, the day I had a choking fit on the live stream. So it's a first for us. But thank you all for being here. The promotions that Michael has is only good to the end of the month, right?
Right. So the promotions we discussed are only good and through May 31st of 2025. While they are calling it the choice offer, we are taking away the choice and providing you all three: the beverage package, the gratuities, and the onboard credit. So we certainly would love to help anybody that wants us to assist them.
Yes. And can you repeat those several things that you once again that the offer has?
The Silver Spirits beverage package, the gratuities, and so you get all three instead of having to choose.
Right. And if you have an existing booking, Michael is going to work it out. He's going to sit there and navigate how to get the best, make it ideal for you. If it is a good path to, transfer over or make that happen in some way. Right.
Yes, that's correct.
Right. So what I want you all to do is tell a friend or give Michael a call at 1-800-913-7245. He can talk. I can't, but I'm hoping I'm doing okay now. Or email him at Michael@PlanMyCruise. You have 30 days here, less than the end of the month, to make this happen. Check out blow up his Facebook page when you find it, to give him a call. We'd love to, he'd love to have your business, and tell a friend, because I think everybody needs to go on a Viking cruise, right?
I do too. Yes. At least once, if not more.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
At least once, if not more.
Yeah. I tell you what, I'm just got back from Paris and Normandy, the river cruise.
Yes.
And I'm just working on sharing my insights about that. What a great experience when you're walking through these small villages, and it's incredible it's like you're walking to a postcard and you're the only one on the street.
Exactly.
Incredible.
Yeah, really, really nice.
Really love it. So, wow. Thank you all for joining us here. I think I'll end here. I know I hope you're all having a great Sunday afternoon too. I had to say that at the beginning, but we appreciate you being here. Michael, again, thanks for taking the time, and I can't wait till we get to do this again.
Yep, me too. And just one last time, just because we always offer our guests an onboard credit, it's something we offer every guest who books with us. You do not have to choose if you take the choice offer with Viking. We will provide our onboard credit as well as the Silver Spirits beverage package and gratuities for any booking made after May 1st through May 31st of this year, 2025.
So that's it. Well, I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday, and thank you again for joining us, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks, John.
Bye, Michael.